Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. Let me know quickly if you can hear me. We are here to obviously talk about finally a big match win, a direct competitor beaten at the San Siro. Apologies for the late reaction, but quickly, 11 people in here. Let me quickly know if you guys can hear me because I'm doing this off my mobile phone, as you guys know. So I always just need to double check that audio and all of that stuff is working properly because it's not the ideal situation without my laptop. So if you guys could quickly comment whether you can hear me and everything is good, then we can proceed. Um, so there's a lot to talk about today. There's a lot to talk about. Matteo, thank you very much. We can get into this. Inter 3, Napoli 2. Predicted a 2-1 victory, 3-2. I'll take it. And wow, I mean, what a performance as well. -4, the Scudetto race is back open. It's back open. It's we were worried before going into this match that if we draw -7, or even if we lose, God forbid, -10, that gets a bit too much. -4, now you're in distance. You can smell, you can almost touch Napoli and Milan. Shout out to Dusan Vlahovic yesterday, my boy, my guy coming through for Milan. I had zero expectation from Fiorentina, zero, minus expectation actually, because their backline was, in disarray. They had to put in a makeshift backline, but they came through with a big performance. Vincenzo Italiano seems to have Pioli's number because he beat them last year when he was the Spezia coach. So he's becoming a very interesting coach, and they did us a favor, and we took advantage of the favor, and we are back within 4 points of Milan and Napoli, which is the most important thing today. Let's go, Ziza. Let me get some of the comments in. I know this is like, a couple of hours after the match, but I'm feeling hyped because I missed the live match, so I had to rewatch a replay, or watch a replay. And yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped after that performance. A few changes that he chose not to watch the last 10 minutes. I think it was a wise choice to avoid a height attack. Bro, that was a very wise choice because, yeah, Napoli, let's talk about it. It's similar to kind of the derby. We pretty much control the match, dominate the match, if you could say. I mean, when it comes to these direct rivals, you can't, dominate the matches, and you're not going to disgrace them. But as far as it goes, controlling the play, winning the duels, winning the battles, Inter did that until the last 10 minutes, which is natural. It's natural to drop back a little, a few meters. That's how you win. We keep asking this team to be a bit more solid. Sometimes you do have to just suffer a little bit, but I mean, suffering is an understatement of what these guys in the last 10 minutes. I don't know how Napoli didn't score. Mario Rui at the far post should have scored the goal, but Samir Handanovic, where credit is due, must be given. What a save to keep us. That gave us the 3 points, that save from Handanovic. At the same time, though, with Handanovic, we have to say, though, that Zielinski goal, great strike. Zielinski, I left him out of my combined 11, in the match before, or the video before the match, where me and Dom from Napoli talks about, both of us actually left him, even the Napoli fan left him out of our combined 11. But today he was probably the best player for Napoli on that pitch, Zielinski, back on form. It was a good shot, nothing to take away from Zielinski. Nice, half kind of outside of the foot, just get the slice on it. But Handanovic has to save that or get, something on it. I mean, it wasn't particularly angled, it wasn't particularly far away from him. But in the end, he makes up for it. So, on balance, he did okay. He saved us in the end, but at the same time, that doesn't cancel out the goal that he actually conceded already in the first half. Once again, silly goals we conceded, silly goals. Both of the goals, silly goals, gift wrapped. It's coming up to Christmas, and these guys are already given the Christmas gifts out. Barella, the first goal, losing the ball to Zielinski, who then ends up scoring. What silly ball to lose out in midfield, giving them the counter attack. Second goal, Edin Dzeko on like the edge of our box. I don't know what he's doing so deep there anyway. And losing the ball there. And that Mertens goal, beautiful. There's nothing Handanovic could have done about that. But two silly mistakes, gifting them the goal. And I was talking about how I was, happy with our defensive solidity recently, and it's true. Really, at the end of the day, it's not really our defending that was bad today. In the end, it was mistakes that led to those goals. There's not much the defending afterwards can do after the guys lose those silly balls. The Mertens goal. There's nothing you can do apart from try to close them down. But that's it. And then Zielinski one as well. They were quick to take advantage of the mistakes. So once again, yes, we've conceded a lot of goals now. What is it in total now? We've conceded 14 goals in total. So it's not looking good in general, but the signs are there from the improvement from this team. And Napoli are a good team, guys. Napoli are a good team, unbeaten until today. We're the ones who broke their unbeaten streaks. They're not a team to underestimate. And the team, we pretty much almost scored as many goals as they've conceded all season. They conceded 4 goals before they played us today, and they conceded 3 in one match. So big credit is due today to the boys and to Inzaghi as well for getting finally, the monkey off his back about the big matches. We've been talking Limone, these big matches, bro. We're watching you, and finally he's brought one through. And probably I would say alongside the Milan derby, this was our biggest match of the season up until now, and he brought it home. Future Hendrik says, ashamed that our fans were shitting on Inzaghi this whole night. To me, he has shown everything it takes into success. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, bro. As I said, I didn't watch the match live. I tried to keep up with the Twitter. I was like, commenting and stuff whenever it was happening and stuff like that. But I didn't see. You have to explain to me what do you mean by them saying stuff about Inzaghi, because I didn't really see much. I hope it wasn't in the crowd or booing him or anything. Just because the subs to form doesn't mean that the decision to sub Limone was wrong. Barella and Correa were limping before the third goal. He had no choice. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes, it's easy to say, oh, that was the wrong substitute and all that kind of stuff. But it's like in the derby as well. Just because Barella came off, he had to come off due to injury in the derby as well. So I'm not sure whether Barella was injured this time around. But the guy is drained. They have to be taken off. Correa was also... It looked like he was injured at the end. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious. Whether it's the right decision to bring on Gagliardini, that's always, that's always a debatable one, the Gagliardini one. But again, every manager that's been at Inter backs Gagliardini, especially in these situations where we're winning, trying to hold on to a win. To me, it just gives me the signal that, the team is just trying to hold on to this and, sit back a little bit deeper when you could bring on Gagliardini. When you have other choices there. By the end of the day, who else, you bring on Vecino. Yes, maybe he brings you a little bit more attacking impetus, but he's also very chaotic, Vecino. I wouldn't trust him to, to try to hold on to the ball or things like that. Vecino to me is more like a guy you bring on if you're trying to get a goal, trying to change the rhythm of a match completely. Sensi as well, obviously, would be a great, amazing one to bring on to try to control the match technically, passing-wise. But once again, as I talked about in the preview, I think Inzaghi's at that stage with Sensi. He just doesn't trust him physically. The technical stuff, the medical stuff must be telling him, I don't know. Just you can't. This guy is not giving us the signals in training that we want. Is he getting injured in training? We don't know how fit he is, guys. We don't know these behind the scenes things. Is he training hard enough? Is because of these injuries? Maybe Sensi is a guy that doesn't. Maybe has to take a little bit easy in training. And Inzaghi probably knows that, but then at the same time, he can't give him the start or give him minutes because the other guys are training, like animals. Imagine Vidal and these guys with big mentalities are training like absolute animals when in training and been pressing him. So it's difficult. It's a difficult one with Sensi and the Gagliardini thing. But at the end of the day, there's not much. Inzaghi there could have done in terms of substitutes today. So I'm not sure what really Inzaghi can be criticized for in terms of the substitutes. King Dorian in the house, finally a big win, yes, and Lautaro goal. Yes, I predicted the Lautaro goal. I said he was going to break his drought, and he did. I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. And also, the picture I used for my thumbnail is him apologizing to the Inter faithful, to the Inter fans. And he said in the post-match interview that he apologizes. He says he is sorry for the mistakes that he's done. He realizes he's got mistakes wrong. But the key part of his interview that I really liked from Lautaro is he said, yes, it's fine to make mistakes, which it is. It's completely fine. In footballers, you make mistakes all the time. But he said, my mistakes, when they cost Inter, then it's a big deal. When they cost Inter points, then it's a big deal. And that's very mature of Lautaro. That's very, it's so good to hear from someone, who's 24 years old, but that's a very mature thing to say, very, taking responsibility for his actions. And now that's what we've asked of Lautaro. As he said, he's got the big boy contract now, so he's got to do big boy performances on a regular basis. Lukaku gone, someone's got to step up goals wise. And yeah, of course, now the penalties it looks like he's been taken off the penalties, and it is what it is. It's quite right. Like, Hakan now at the moment he's got the 100% record. Once again, ice cold penalty from Hakan, but Lautaro, improvement from Lautaro I saw today. I wouldn't say he was man of the match today or anything, but the goal was very well taken, and in general he was fighting. Like today, I saw more of the old Lautaro in terms of he was more explosive. Like he was winning duels, he was winning 1v1s. Still some of the usual Lautaro things where sometimes he's a little bit forces the 1v1s, forces dribbling rather than just keeping the ball. But yeah, he almost scored with that curler in the first half. Ospina was beaten in that one if he got it on target. In general, he had a nice header. I think there's still not that partnership that we thought that the Cola would be. The link up between him and Correa wasn't quite there. I didn't really see them completing any 1-2s or any passes in between them. But I think the Cola worked today. Correa as well. I think good performance. Heart Attack FC. Ronnie says, yeah, this was more of the Pazza Inter performance for sure. Honda clutched us the 3 points. Yeah, he did. No doubts about that. The last minutes of this game, Lopimos says, had the Empoli 2019 vibes. The only thing missing was D'Ambrosio. Yeah, D'Ambrosio on the line somehow saving us. I don't think it wasn't saying that bad. That was really bad. That Empoli one. It was like they had like 5-6 chances in a row. This was similar vibes. I agree, but maybe not as bad. We didn't have Dalbert causing us headache. that's one thing for sure. Under the tree saved us 3 points. Yo, Nick Knox, he's high for the big win, clenching for the last 10 minutes, but super happy we won there. Exactly, bro. Literally clenching. Poor XPS. Yeah, man. I don't know what's wrong with my laptop, but we move. Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you, Victor, for letting me know. Keston, yeah, you are like a few minutes late. No big deal. I'm late actually today. I'm like 2 hours late. San Handanovic, I don't want to give him too much credit today, to be honest. I know, like, obviously because the moment was so late on, he deserves credit. But if Handanovic didn't save that as well, like that's why I said Mario Rui. I mean, he almost got it towards. Okay, I'll stop it. I don't want to take too much credit away from Handanovic as well. Let me stop talking before I take away all the credit from Handanovic. He deserves it. He deserves it. Uncle Sean is still alive. I thought you didn't survive the last 20 minutes. Yeah. Laufato finally scored. Hey, put some respect on Laufato's name, man. I think it's about time we assemble Hakan FC. Hey, let's start some Hakan. Start some Hakan propaganda today, guys. This guy is owning the left centre mid spot now. Like, even before this match, I was saying that maybe start Vidal. He's being in good form and all that kind of stuff, but. Hakan, let me pull up some stats actually with Hakan. Because what I liked about Hakan today, once again, that's what I've been most impressed with Hakan actually since he's come to Inter, is the fact that we know he's got those set pieces, we know he's got that right foot, but the battling that he's been doing since he's come to Inter, that's what's really impressed me. Like, obviously why I wanted Vidal in there was because of Anguissa and the Fabian Ruiz combination. I thought would have needed someone a bit more physical in there. But Hakan didn't make me miss Vidal or anyone else in general. He had 91 pass accuracy. Like, he's been doing, those moments where he comes deep to pick up the ball and makes good passes. He had 3 key passes, so 3 passes that led directly to some sort of shots. Had a shot on target, and obviously the penalty, ice cool, just in off the post, like, unsavable. only lost possession 9 times. Like, yeah, I mean, he had one tackle as well. Like, he got that yellow card, which I thought was a little bit harsh. Like, he gets stuck in. That's what I like about Hakan. He's providing those things that we're talking about in terms of set pieces, but he's providing more things. And he got a 7.7 on Sofa score, and he got 7.6 on who scored. So, he's this guy. I don't understand. I don't even need to defend him now. Surely people are seeing that this guy has been a decent free transfer addition. Clearly, and I know he was up and down at the beginning, but the last 2 matches you can't really criticize him. He was up there in terms of one of the best performers, and it looks like we found our penalty taker as well now. For now, anyway, we'll see when he starts to miss, if he starts to miss. But maybe this is, we know he's a dead ball specialist. Filippo says we subbed Dima, Dzeko, Vidal, and Gallia on, lost all the pace, parked the bus once again, nearly bottled it. I don't know if it's Inzaghi's fault, but that's a constant pattern. Yeah. But Conte used to do the exact same stuff. I remember we used to complain about Conte doing these exact same things. We would say, "Oh, why are you bringing on Gagliardini? Why are you bringing on Ashley Young now? Why are you, taking the team?" But it's not just the coach. Like, this is a natural reaction of a team that wants to hold on to their win. And maybe you could say that, you should keep pressing, but it's hard to keep pressing, in the 60th, 70th, 80th minute. And it's a big team, and they're also taking back control. Like, they're also trying to get the draw on there. So it's hard to you always put the blame on the coach, because he can't physically go out there on the pitch and tell the guys, like, but also at the same time, these are Italian coaches, so I wouldn't be too surprised. Inzaghi's telling, it's the Italian school of coaching, guys. Come on, these guys would rather hold on to a win rather than extend the lead. You know what I mean? And that's probably the smart way to do it. In the end, it worked out. Of course, it almost didn't, but at the end of the day, it worked out. And we've been asking this team to be more solid, and this is how you build it. You build these moments of suffering a little bit, and then you get through them. And without De Vrij today, the defense did completely fine. Keston, you missed the live game as well. Mo, my guy, I caught some of your post-match reaction as well, because whilst I was driving. So thank you for that. Stoppage time was the longest 8 minutes of my life. Yeah, we have to remember the stoppage time was very, very long because of the head clashes. And yeah, today, 2 very bad head clashes. The Osimhen one was particularly bad. This eye was completely banged up. Skriniar was down for a few minutes as well. And then the Dzeko one as well had to be all patched up. So hopefully all the guys are okay. Hopefully Osimhen is okay, because his one looked a bit serious. He looks like, De Bruyne in the Champions League final after clashing into Rudiger. Shouts out to Mo for saying Vlahovic will score against Milan. Yeah, shouts out to Mo. If he did say that. I think he did say that in this preview video, didn't he? I think I kept him for the fantasy Serie A game that Interworldwide play. I kept him on, but there's another fantasy Serie A game that I play, but I didn't put him on there. But I had a good week on both of those Serie A. Boca Diop in the house, focus on the Champions League now. Yeah, of course. Now his heads to Shakhtar Donetsk at home. I was actually going to go to this game, but some things didn't quite work out. But I was actually going to fly out to Milan for the Shakhtar game. But it's a shame. I haven't been to watch Inter for like two years now. But maybe in the spring, might get to go, and maybe in 2022 I'll get to go. But hopefully the boys get the job done. And yes, thank you, Leber Wustesa. Apologies if I haven't got your name correctly. I lived in Germany for a year actually, and I tried to learn a bit of German, but it's all gone out the window. But yeah, respect to the frog. And that's what I said before the match. Everyone, not everyone, but I saw a lot of people were concerned about Osimhen versus Ranocchia. But as I said, the center of the three, the De Vrij position, is the least exposed position. So he would never actually have to face Osimhen in open field unless we actually defended like idiots. And he didn't. Osimhen had to face Ranocchia in the air, duel with his back to goal, and Ranocchia did perfectly fine. Ranocchia today, solid performance, won most of his aerial duels as he should. Actually, it was decent on the ball as well. Had some nice little pingers left and right a few times, like De Vrij would. So I did not miss De Vrij at all, and this is why I'm not being reactionary. I've been saying this, that De Vrij position, and because of De Vrij's age, and because he was a free transfer, so he would be a pure profit on the books, De Vrij, if you sell him. he is the one sacrificable if, you know, the contract situation is stalling, if Mino Raiola is asking for too much money. But of course, he's still the starting centre back. I'm not saying that we'll be fine with Ranocchia. We'll definitely have to replace the Vrij with someone of higher quality. But I'm just saying that's the position where that we could get away maybe with a slight drop in quality if we can get some money. But obviously, I can't wait for De Vrij to be back. You know, he's the starter for sure. Keston has no input today because he didn't watch the game. But I'd recommend it, Keston, if you can watch it. Actually, guys, if you are looking for a replay of the match, the website I recommend to you guys is soccercatch.com. Beautiful website. God bless the people that made that website. It has full match replays, first half, second half, highlights, everything. Soccercatch.com. That's the website I used to watch the replay, and it was on already like half an hour after the match was finished. So sometimes they do go off the replays, obviously because of copyright and all that kind of stuff. But that's the website I use to make my, you know, videos and compilation, all that kind of stuff. Soccercatch.com. Ricky Bars, hey, he's feeling confident. We're winning the league again. Hey, that's the prediction that we put at the start of the season, and this is the type of thing we need to do if you want to defend this right here. These are the performances that you need. And like today, I said this before the match, like if we don't win against Napoli, if we lose against Napoli today, then that tells me this team is not ready to defend this title. But this is the signal that I wanted, and this is a signal to the rest of the league that don't count into out. Yes, Napoli and Milan are at the moment right at the front, but Napoli now have a very hard schedule up ahead because they haven't played no big matches. Today was their first proper big match. They played Juve, but Juve were kind of shaky when they played them. So they still have Milan to play, the direct rivals. They still have Atalanta. They still have Roma as well, don't they? So Napoli have some tough fixtures. In January, they will lose Osimhen. They will lose Zambo Anguissa. They will lose Koulibaly, Unas. So January could be a very tricky period. I think the January fixtures are easier for them when the guys go, but still, and the pace that these guys were keeping, guys, I've been saying 32 points or 31 points what they're on. These guys, this is record-breaking stuff from Napoli and Milan. This is not Inter's fault that these guys have been performing at a crazy level, like record-breaking levels. So at some point, their level had to drop below. They had to drop some points, and they will drop more points in the season. We just have to be there to pick up the pieces. Handanovic save on Mario Rui defied the laws of physics. Yeah, the way that, you know, he saved it, but it kind of went. It was kind of the D'Ambrosio against Empoli 2019. It was like somehow it went upwards into the bar, like it was, defying physics. Indra says he only watched 55 minutes. From what I watched, Limone sub at 16 minutes, kill Inter's momentum. I think there was a period where we did still continue playing well, but obviously, as I said, we're playing Napoli. We're not playing Salernitana. At one point, they're losing 3-1. They're going to try to take control of the match again. And of course, if you have Gagliardini on the pitch, you're going to lose momentum in the match. But I don't really see how I can really blame Inzaghi for the substitutes today. Christian Vargas, my guy, Hermanito. We have to renew Perišić, and I think let's get into who the man of the match was, guys. Actually, I think it was Perišić to me. As I said, I didn't watch the match live, and I did skip through a little bit because I replayed it, and then I wanted to come on the live stream with you guys, so I didn't watch the whole 90 minutes. I guess I watched like 80 minutes. I skipped through all the stoppages and stuff. But Perišić, this is the best start to a season he's ever had, like at Inter for sure, because we always known him to be an inconsistent guy. But this season, just constantly high level performances. He got beaten by Lozano a couple of times, which is fine. Lozano is very tricky 1v1. But the guy, let me get some stats up for him. He got 8 on SofaScore. Oh crap! No! Don't go away. Oh, damn it. My window just refreshed 1 second. Let me just load it up. But the guy, he had 2 key passes as well. He almost scored. He probably should have done better, actually, when he got past Di Lorenzo on the inside. That was a beautiful little move from him. 1 second, guys. My window just refreshed just as I was looking at his Stats. Come on. Here we are. He got a yellow card on the 92nd minute for time wasting. Where is he? Perišić. There he is. I mean, he got the goal as well. I mean, nice goal on the near post. He should get more goals from corners, actually, Perišić, because he's an athletic guy and he's good in the air. He should be getting more goals from corners. He should be more of an aerial threat. Not so good on the crosses today. He had 5 attempted, only 1 completed, but he had 1 big chance created, 2 shots on target, 2 dribble attempts, 2 successful, 8 ground duels, 4 of them he won, 2 interceptions, 1 tackle. Complete performance. To me, he was the man of the match. And SofaScore here gives him man of the match, and also WhoScored give him man of the match, and I agree with them. Anas Turk, sorry, I don't speak Arabic, so you might have to, someone can please translate what he's saying. Hopefully he's not abusing me or someone. The third kit equals win. Yeah, we've got 100% record, haven't we, with that third kit, with the colourful third kit that we have. But yeah, to me, Perišić was man of the match. What do you guys think? I think who else could have been man of the match? Hakan, Darmian could also be man of the match, I would say. Yeah, Mohammed, as I said, yeah, even to say, you could say that he probably could have done better because he almost palmed it into the goal. But as I said, I don't want to get too into the negatives about Handanovic. I would say he got worse through that, Keston. I think that's the thing that he's got worse in Handanovic, the attempting to make the save, the what we call the mannequin challenge. The last 20 minutes reminisces of Spalletti era. Yeah, Spalletti coming back. And by the way, guys, if anyone of you know, because as I said, I didn't watch the match live. Did you see what type of reception Spalletti received? Did he receive applauses or did he receive boos? I saw there was a funny picture of Spalletti like lying on the floor after they conceded a goal, being desperate. We need to achieve 9 points from the next 3 matches. Yeah, our next fixtures are not particularly challenging. So let me see quickly what the fixtures are. So obviously we got Shakhtar in the Champions League, and then we got Venezia away, Spezia at home, and then Roma away before Real Madrid. Yeah, the Roma one is the tricky one out of the 3, but still, Inter should beat Roma. What was the Roma score actually? Let me check what the Roma score was. Roma score. Oh, damn. They got a goal in the 82nd and 94th minute from their youngster, Felix Afina-Gyan. So they're stumbling through at the moment, Roma. Stumbling through. No, Libiano. Yeah, I was just a little bit late today. Appreciate you guys coming through. Eminem in the house as well. Edin Dzeko sub almost cost us the game. Would you substitute a 35-year-old when defending a 2-goal lead? Yeah, but guys, he's the guy that's supposed to come on and hold the ball, but he made a mistake. He made a mistake, just like how Barella made a mistake in their first goal. He made a mistake. He should have held onto the ball, won a foul, or just cleared it into, Rose Ed, but he made a mistake. I think it was I know he's not 100% at the moment, but he's the guy that's able to bring the ball down and take pressure and then, release guys, and which he did. The first 5-6 touches that Dzeko had were very nice into the match, but then that one, he made a mistake and it happened. I don't think it was the wrong substitution in my eyes. And we're trying to build back his match fitness as well because he's been out injured for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, and we have to remember this is post-international break, and we know that post-international break can be a little bit, the team can be a bit lethargic and a little bit misaligned, but I think it was a good performance overall. One of our best of the season for sure. Anguissa was denied an insane assist by Mertens, missing that volley. He completely air-shotted that one, yeah. But actually today, one thing I have to say about our midfield, Brozovic, Barella, and Hakan, they cancelled out Fabian Ruiz and Anguissa, who probably been, 2 of the best midfielders in Serie A this season. Zielinski was good for them, but in general, I think tactically, Spalletti got beaten. I think we definitely won that midfield battle with those 2 guys. And Anguissa was not as good as he has been at all today. Would I take Ole at Inter? Oh my goodness, I would rather take Stramaccioni back. I would rather take, Mazzarri. I would rather take Mazzarri back at Inter than Ole, to be honest with you. Ahmad is also critical of the substitutes. He says he wants to defend, yet let no one take advantage of the counter-attacks. We were left with Dzeko and a tired Perišić to rely on the counter. That is true. But I don't say at the same time, Correa is clearly had some sort of injury. Who else do we have that's got pace? That's the issue with this Inter team at the moment. We don't have that. Even in the starting 11, who is the counter-attacking threat in this team? Dumfries maybe, but you're not going to bring on Dumfries as we seem to hold on to a lead. Sanchez is out. Satriano doesn't strike me as particularly the quickest guy either. I mean, that's the issue. This team, we've got a lot of depth, but there's a few missing pieces that we know we're missing. And I agree with you, but at the same time, what other choices did Inzaghi really have? Sensi's not going to take, be the guy on the counter attack, is he? People say Limone is soft. No, man, Limone. I've been saying, you've watched this guy at Lazio. This guy is as bad, if not worse, than Conte at times on the touchline. This guy literally steps on the pitch sometimes. Conte is there because he's got that voice and that that presence that obviously is very unique to Conte, and the loudness of his voice. And we got to hear it when the crowd wasn't there. But Inzaghi he's got a very controlling, deep voice. He commands respect as well, and he's very loud and very energetic on the sideline. So he's definitely not soft. Maybe he's soft in terms of, Conte's confrontational with his players. He will, literally fight his players. And, with Inzaghi seems like, he shouts a lot, but maybe seems like he'd probably be kind of soft behind the scenes. But on the touchline, he's definitely not soft, I would say. How the Spurs do, yeah. I mean, I wish I went to watch the Spurs match. I didn't even see how they did. Tuku is the definition of 0 to 100 real quick. Yeah, this guy, let's talk about Tuku real quick as well. Let me get his stats up. Once again, this is perfect. When we talked to the Udinese match, where he scored a brace, he was, he was getting booed at one point by Inter fans in the Udinese match. And then he turns up, scores 2 goals. Today, actually, he had some nice touches as usual. Like, there was a nice turn. He left Romani for dead like 2 or 3 times. And then in the end, he, as I said, he's the one counter-attacking threat we have in this team. Took the ball from like middle of our half up until their box, and so classy. So the way he carries it is so good to see on the eye. Like, this is why I like him. He's just so good to watch at times when he's on. And that one time he's on, gets the assist for Lautaro, and he's got quite a high rating from these ratings websites. He's got 7.2 on SofaScore, and he's got 8.1 on Who Scored. But I don't think he deserves it that high. But I thought he was quite good. And according to SofaScore, he had 6 dribble attempts and 4 successful, that's very, very good. That's probably the highest, I think, of an Inter player all season. 37 touches, 75% accuracy, 2 key passes. Won 7 out of 11 ground duels. Yeah, I liked how he was stuck in as well today. He got stuck in today, Correa. He won the ball back a couple of times. I liked Correa today. Again, he wasn't perfect. He was very up and down, but that's Correa, guys. You just have to get used to this. He's 27 years old. He's not gonna improve on that. This is Correa, and you just have to get used to it. But his goals, he's got an assist now, and he's got 4 goals and 4 starts. Like, what more can you ask from the guy? He's taken advantage of the games where he started. Yeah, Hamza Perišić was good. How enjoyable was that? Took run so smooth. Exactly, Libiano. This is why I've been on the Correa hype train. I mean, I know that 31 million is probably too much for this guy, but no one else in this Inter team, even last season, no one has these characteristics of being able to take players on 1v1. This is the guy that gives me like that thing that we get into the box. Maybe this guy can win a penalty, can beat a guy. Maybe it leads to nothing, which most of the time it doesn't, but it just gives even the opposition that little bit of doubt that he's going to do something a little bit different. And every team needs something like that. You saw like Rafael Leao for Milan yesterday. Crazy the amount of dribbles that guy did completed against Fiorentina. Like, that is the issue that we have with the 3-5-2 formation. There's only one player really in the whole formation that's given that freedom to do that, which is that second striker. In the 4-2-3-1, you have two wingers, an attacking midfielder. Those three are able to face people 1v1 and be given that freedom, creativity. And that's why it's so important that we have someone like Correa that breaks the lines a little bit, breaks the patterns of play. Tom GD in the house of sub bro says last two games have shown we're the best team in the league. Not sure we'll win it as everything's so high risk, but it's good fun. That's the thing, guys. Whatever happens this season, I'm having fun watching this Inzaghi team. And I agree with Tom. When you reflect on all the big matches now we've played all the big teams apart from Roma now. Atalanta, we played slightly better than Atalanta. We should have won that, obviously, because of the penalty. We proved, I think, that we were a better team there. Juventus, we were definitely the better team. And yeah, the penalty, let's not get into that. Milan, derby, once again, apart from the last 10 minutes, domination. We won. We played better than them. We didn't win, obviously. Lazio, that was the disappointing one. That, again, for 50, 60 minutes, we were decent. We were good. And then which one am I missing? Yeah, Napoli now. So, I think we have shown that still we probably are the best team in Italy at the moment. It's just that table doesn't show it, and that's the most important one, unfortunately, the table showing it rather than our eyes showing it. But that's what gives me confidence, just like last season where we weren't first until this moment, that once Milan and the other guys start dropping points, if this Inter team continue growing as we are going to be there once again, ready to pick up the pieces like we did last season. And as I said in my match preview, Sensi, we have to think about this guy almost as a guy who's been out injured for like 2 years. This guy has barely had any minutes. He needs match rhythm, match time. Like even if they send him in the Primavera for a few matches, I wouldn't. I know it's quite a strong statement when you send a guy to Primavera. It's not maybe great, but as in he just needs regular minutes, just playing competitive football. Yeah, that's the thing. We have a lot of subs, but at the same time, when you bring them on, you're thinking like, what is really this guy going to add to the team? That is the issue. So I can't really blame too much on the substitution. Lopimos says, I missed the way Conte calculated changes where the players who came on had precise instructions. Sometimes Inzaghi just throws people on randomly. I don't know, man. Like, I remember people complaining exactly the same way about Conte. And I just feel like we just forget now. We have this kind of rose-tinted glasses about the Conte time. I have did many streams, post-match reaction streams, with people moaning about Conte substitutions, him waiting too long, and always the same substitution, always bringing on Gagliardini to hold on to a lead. But I do agree in the same time that sometimes you're wondering, like, what is Inzaghi thinking with this? Is he just making the substitution for the sake of it, or what? But today, as I said, like, I think the Correa one was definitely forced. We know how Barella, how drained he is. He needs to be subbed off as well. He can't play 90 minutes. So I feel like his substitution were a little bit forced today. All we were missing was a header from goal from Ranocchia today. Yeah, I was predicting like a goal from Skriniar or one of the defenders. So I missed out on that one. Mertens missing the 96 was freakish, totally unmarked. Yeah. That was mad. That was my heart was like up here, even though I already knew the scoreline because I watched the match afterwards. I was like, heard Coca-Cola stock on the rise after this game. Hey, we finally got to see the cola partnership properly. And yeah, it was the once again. I wouldn't say it's like our best partnership. I don't even know what our best partnership is at the moment. I know in Inzaghi's mind, he still thinks that Lautaro Dzeko is the best partnership, but as a partnership, I don't think they're great. So this could be, I think this probably was today the showing of our best partnership. You know what I mean? Like actual connection between one guy and the other. But obviously Lautaro Dzeko is still our best partnership. Those are our two best gunmen. Victor Moses, hey man, the guy is like 31 as well, 32, and Chelsea wanted like a little bit of money. He was a Conte guy as well. In the end, we got Hakimi afterwards, so we had Hakimi and Darmian last year, so there was no need for Moses, and now he's playing as a proper winger for Spartak Moscow. So him, was it against Napoli? I think I saw him or somewhere in the Europa League. Conte said no more pazza. Limone said full pazza. Yeah, I mean Conte did say it, but then he had a full pazza Inter for a long time until the last 6 months. What's up, Joel? Thank you for swinging by. Adriano Imperatore. Hope you're the guy off my Twitter. If not, shouts out to you. Haven't really seen you around before. Turning point of the season so far, but also for Napoli and Milan, both lost. Yeah, this is the turning point of the season. There could be, when we look back at the end of the season, we might look back to this moment today, 21st of November, saying that this, like, remember last year, my turning point, I always remember it was the Sassuolo match where Conte went back to a 3-5-2, sitting a little bit deeper, balance, 3-0 win. That was a turning point of interseason, in my opinion, last year. And this could be today the turning point of interseason this year. So spot on. Pazza Inter, nope. Spiazza Inter, yeah. So that's the phrase that people make fun of Limone in Italy for. Spiazze. What's up, Tommy, man? Big up the boys. Title race is on. That exactly, bro. Title race is back on. Amala says he wants to say 3-2 in the prediction, but if I had said it, we would have lost. Yeah, you gotta do the reverse jinx, of course. Yeah, Perišić, man, the contract situation is tricky because apparently it's not us that's not trying to renew him. It's him. He doesn't. Apparently, feels like he's completed his time at Inter, which is fair play. This guy's been at Inter 6 years now, and he's wanted to leave in the past. He put in a transfer request even once. I remember when Arsenal wanted him. There was a time when Man United wanted him. Then he also went on loan to Bayern Munich. Came back after winning the treble. But there's not much you can do if a guy doesn't want to sign a contract. I would definitely try. If it was Inter, I would try to at least try to get a 1-year extension. I agree. But he doesn't seem like he wants to, unfortunately. That's the issue. We have to improve the defense. We won't win the title defending like this. We allow too many goals, and yet that is the issue. But once again, as I mentioned earlier, Christian, like today's goals came from individual mistakes from Barella and Dzeko giving the ball away silly. Defensively, apart from those last 10 minutes, we didn't really give away too much. But yeah, we need to improve our defensive record. There's no two doubts about it. You don't necessarily have to have the best defense in the league in terms of goals conceded, but we can't be at the levels that we are now. We're like 4th or 5th in the league in terms of goals conceded. That's way too much. I personally don't like Ranocchia since the early 2010s. Yeah, I mean, Ranocchia, I think he's turned around the corner in terms of Inter fans, and me as well. I used to be the same, but he deserves respect now, Ranocchia. He's always reliable now. I recommend it. I am definitely check out the replay. It was a very, very good performance. Skriniar was man of the match for you. Yeah, he could be one of the kind of. I don't think there was particularly anyone to stand out, but to me it was either Perišić or Darmian to me, or even Hakan. When Inzaghi puts Bagliardini and Di Marco start swaying like crazy. Yep. Big up you, man. Game of the season so far. Shouts out Afeni, Gian, by the way. Yeah, I'm going to check out the goals afterwards for sure. Hey, some Hakan propaganda in here. 1 goal, 1 assist. That's true, actually. I forget he had the assist as well, so that is true. 1 goal, 1 assist. I think it has to be between Hakan and Perišić for me. Some you think Limone is being too fine right for Inter? Sorry? You have to rephrase that one, bro. I didn't quite get it. Someone gave me CPR. you guys thought I died after those last 10 minutes. We thought you fainted. Yeah. Perišić was drool worthy today for sure. Hey, another Hakan man of the match shout. I like it. Hakan's turning your guys around. He's turning you guys around. No worries about that if you're late. We were scared not to start Dzeko for 3 months. You're forced to a Correa Lautaro, and here's your first big win. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that equals this, but we've been calling for the Colas to start from the beginning, and I think we saw the benefits of it. So Inzaghi I think Inzaghi thought we had the game in the bag because we were losing 3-1 and Osimhen was out of the game. That's why those subs were made. Yeah, and also they were forced. You think Limone has now learned to stop playing Sbagliardini? I hope so. I mean, that's one thing. Surely, but at the same time, as I said, like I don't like Gagliardini. You guys, he's probably my least favorite player in the squad. But if you're trying to hold on to the lead, he's probably the guy you're trying to bring on. When Barella goes off, you do lose that momentum. He's a big impact into the inter midfield. There's no two ways about it. Inter have an underlying striker problem right now. We're the top scorers in the league, which is funny when you say that, but it's probably true. But at the same time, you can only say that so much when you're top scorers in the league. Those on Jonathan David rumors, it would be massive for Canada. That's all I can say. I don't really watch too much of Ligue 1, so I can't comment too much on him. But from what I understand, he's like more of a second striker, so I don't really see the need for Jonathan David at the moment. Napoli 12 games, only 4 goals conceded, 3 goals in 60 minutes against Inzaghi ball. Exactly, that's what I mentioned in the beginning. Third kit with Correa 19 looks tasty. It does look tasty. Spalletti seemed to have set his players up just to foul us. Yeah, they were very foully today. Yeah, you're right. They were very aggressive and very dirty at some point. They stopped a lot of our counters, actually. Excuse me. Kevin says we have an important game on Wednesday. The substitution has to be made. Yeah, exactly. There's also rotations to be made, guys. Like there's 9 games, though. Now there's going to be 8 games played in a very tight period. Inzaghi has to think about rotations. We don't want to take Barella off, but he has to, because Barella's going to start against Shakhtar. We know that. So you have to give him some rest at some point. Yeah, exactly. I think Correa has the highest. I think him and Simeone have the highest goal to minutes per ratio this season, and now he has added an assist to that. So I'm sure, I haven't looked at it, but I'm sure it's very high. So people that criticize Correa should look at that before criticizing him, because he's had limited minutes, really, when you think about it. Yeah, Inzaghi's substitutions in the beginning were quite nice. Those proactive substitutions he was making. Yeah, I'm waiting to see a fully fit Sanchez as well coming into this team for sure. Off topic, why do I think Fonseca would be a good choice for United? I disagree. Guy from Twitter that you didn't follow back. Let me know, guys. Put it on Twitter and I can follow you back if you just comment to me on Twitter. Parmeshwar, my guy in the house, must be, what is it? Isn't it like 4 o'clock in the morning in India? Inzaghi tries to trust the likes of Gagliardini for 20 minutes and he can't even do that. Hey man, everyone. Oh yeah, actually, Keston's right. It is probably Kolarov, but I do like Kolarov's left foot, like on a technical, because I like technical ballers. Kolarov on a technical level, at least he's got that beautiful left foot. Obviously, last year he was causing us troubles all around. But Gagliardini just technically, like, just physically and like aesthetically, just doesn't do anything for me. Wish Sensi got some. Yeah, Sensi definitely. I hope he starts to get some minutes. But again, I think he's having that same issue that Conte was having in terms of trusting him. Honestly, this game reminds me a lot of the Juve game, where the players said that they started believing they actually could win the Scudetto. Same with this game. It's the first win in big games. Yeah, this is what it does. This is what we needed, this big game win. Like, this is what gives you that propel to the next level to the end of the season. It gives them... I mean, these guys shouldn't really need it, because, you are champions already. You shouldn't need this validation, but it does give you that validation, doesn't it? I still think that if you beat Milan... If they beat Milan last week, that would have been real, because I feel like this Napoli team at the moment is a little bit... I don't think they're going to maintain these high levels. And Juventus last year, Juventus was more like a historic thing. Like, finally, we're beating Juventus. Like, these are the guys that have been, strangle-holding Italian football for the last 9 years, and we just smacked you guys around. With Napoli, these guys finished 5th last year, and they had a nice start. But I feel like, once again, if you beat, Milan, and once again, if you go to Juventus and beat them away, those are the big statement wins. But yeah, this is also, of course, a big, massive win. During this match, I got flash forward to Cavani at Inter with. What do you mean? As in, you can see Cavani being at Inter in the future. Hey, my bro Vivek in the house. Yeah, Inter won, bro. Inter won -4 on Napoli now and Milan. Kolarov is part of the coaching staff now. Yeah, he's probably not even part of the you can't even count him as part of the squad anymore. I think now it should. I think it should now. I think the Correa, if he stays fit, I think this should be. You should give him. You should pick a partnership now for a while. Like we picked the Dzeko Lautaro for a while. I think for now, until Correa stays fit, I would Shakhtar. Actually, I would like to see a Correa Dzeko from the start as well. Against Shakhtar, I would like to see Correa Dzeko from the start. Like I want to see different sides of the partnership, but 100%, you need to give these guys stable minutes. But yeah, guys, 50 minutes. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This is the beautiful way to return from the international break. Title race is back on, baby. Spalletti. Sorry, mate. We had to punish you on your return to San Siro, but it is what it is. Thank you guys for joining me today. 54 of you. I wasn't expecting this many people because I did this a little bit later than usual. I know you guys need it fresh, straight out of the match usually, but thank you for joining me. Thank you to Inzaghi. Thank you to Limone. Thank you to the boys for giving me the beautiful win. Thank you to Lautaro for apologizing. Yes, we talked about that if you missed it at the beginning. We are back, baby, to defend this patch right here. Don't count us out. Scudetto boys, Scudetto season once again approaching 20th. Scudetto maybe is still up. The mission is still there. Second star mission is up. Make sure you leave a thumbs up, guys, before you leave. And subscribe if you're new to the channel, if you just found this channel. And ragazzi, forza Inter.